Welcome to the second part of the lesson On the Face of It in your Vistas textbook. In the last class, we have stopped at page number 60 with Derry's dialogue. I don't care if nobody ever kisses me. So we will continue. Mr. Lamb answers, but do you care if you never kiss them? What? Girls, pretty girls, long hair and large eyes. People you love. Who would let me? No one. Who can tell? I won't ever look different. When I am as old as you, I'll look the same. I'll still only have half a face. So you will, but the world won't. The world has got a whole face and the world is there to be looked at. Here you find Derry is always thinking about himself, and he is well aware of the fact that he is not going to change in the future. So Mr. Lamb convinces him that your change is only secondary. The primary thing is the world is complete. You have to just look at the world and enjoy your life. So that's the message that Mr. Lamb tries to instill in Derry. Do you think this is the world? This old garden? Mr. Lamb responds, when I am here, not the only one, but the world as much as anywhere. Does your leg hurt you? So this question tells us that Derry is trying to get more details about Mr. Lamb. He is getting more interested and more involved in the conversation. Mr. Lamb frankly says, tin doesn't hurt, my boy. When it came off, did it hurt? Certainly. And now, I mean, where the tin stops at the top, is it painful? Now and then, in wet weather. It doesn't signify. Oh, that's something else, they all say. Look at all those people who are in pain and brave and never cry and never complain and don't feel sorry for themselves. Mr. Lamb immediately responds, I haven't said it. That means I didn't say that. And think of all those people worse off than you. Think you might have been blinded or born deaf or have to live in a wheelchair or be daft in your head and dribble. So here you find Derry, who was hesitant to speak to Mr. Lamb in the initial phase, is now openly talking about the different advices that he's got from different people. The first category tells him to look around and see the other people who are similarly in pain and they are still brave and confident and they never complain. Derry is also expected to be like that. But there is another category of people who asks him to be grateful for what he is. After listening to what Derry had got to say, Mr. Lamb responds, and that's all true and you know it. So Derry again says, it won't make my face change. Do you know, one day a woman went by me in the street. I was at a bus stop and she was with another woman and she looked at me and she said, whispered, but only I heard her. She said, look at that. That's a terrible thing. That's a face only a mother could love. Now Derry is telling Mr. Lamb about a conversation that he has overheard. And he says the woman who was speaking about his face, and it was mentioned as a terrible thing only a mother could love. This had largely affected Derry, and this has added on to his already existing misery. So Mr. Lamb replies, so you believe everything you hear then? It was cruel, maybe not meant as such, just something said between them. Only I heard it. Only I heard it. And is that the only thing you ever heard anyone say in your life? Oh no, I have heard a lot of things. So now you keep your ears shut. I think this is one of the best advice given to Derry by Mr. Lamb. He says not to get upset listening to others' advice. Other people may tell anything and everything about you, but you shouldn't be stable enough not to allow their negative comments to destroy your peace of mind. And Derry responds, "You are peculiar. You say peculiar things. You ask questions I don't understand. I like to talk, have company. You don't have to answer questions. You don't have to stop here at all. The gate's open." So this is the best part of Mr. Lamb. He loves to be in the company of people. He allows other people to be on their own. He gives them freedom to do whatever they want, and he doesn't force anybody to do anything. And he is a jovial person who enjoys each and every work that he does. So Derry says, "Yes, but I have a hive of bees behind those trees over there. Some hear bees and they say, 'Bees buzz.' But when you listen to bees for a long while, they hum, and hum means sing. I hear them singing, my bees." So this is another important point regarding Mr. Lamb, his perspective towards a particular action. For example, here it is bees buzzing. For him, it is bees singing. So this is the difference in perspective. Derry says, "But I like it here. I came in because I liked it when I looked over the wall. If you had seen me, you would not have come in." No, no, it would have been trespassing. Trespassing is illegal entry into a place. Ah, that's not why. I don't like being near people when they stare, when I see them being afraid of me. You could lock yourself up in a room and never leave it. So Derry is again complaining about other people's attitude towards him, and Mr. Lamb tells a very interesting story. There was a man who did that. He was afraid, you see, of everything. Everything in this world. A bus might run him over, or a man might breathe deadly germs onto him, or a donkey might kick him to death, or lightning might strike him down, or he might love a girl and the girl would leave him, and he might slip on a banana skin and fall, and people who saw him would laugh their heads off. So he went into his room and locked the door and got into his bed and stayed there. So this is the story of a man who is afraid of everything, and he locks himself inside a room where no one can enter. Derry asks, "Forever? Does he stay in forever?" "For a while." "Then what?" "A picture fell off the wall onto his head and killed him." So what happened to this man? He got killed by a simple picture in the room which fell onto his head. Listening to this story, Derry laughs a lot. Mr. Lamb replies, "See, you see what happened to that man who was afraid of everything." And Derry is greatly impressed, and he replies, "But you still say peculiar things." Peculiar to some. The next series of conversations reveal that Mr. Lamb is telling more about himself to Derry, and Derry is equally anxious to know more about Mr. Lamb. "What do you do all day?" "I sit in the sun, read books." "Ah, you thought it was an empty house, but inside it's full, books and other things." "Full, but there aren't any curtains at the windows." "I am not fond of curtains," replies Lamb. "Shutting things out, shutting things in. I like the light and the darkness, and the windows open to hear the wind." "Yes, I like that. When it's raining, I like to hear it on the roof." This reply of Derry reveals that he is sharing even his innermost feelings to Mr. Lamb. Mr. Lamb replies, "So you are not lost, are you? Not altogether. You do hear things. You listen. They talk about me downstairs. When I'm not there, what will he ever do? What's going to happen to him when we have gone? However will he get on in this world? Looking like that, with that on his face. That's what they say." Lamb replies, Lord boy, you have got 2 arms, 2 legs, and eyes and ears. You've got a tongue and a brain. You'll get on the way you want, like all the rest. And if you chose and set your mind to it, you could get on better than all the rest. So Mr. Lamb instills confidence in Derry, ensures that he will be able to excel others in whichever field he chooses. And Derry is surprised to listen to something like this. This is totally new for him. How? Same way as I do. Do you have any friends? Hundreds of them. But you live by yourself in that house. It's a big house too. Friends everywhere. People come in. Everybody knows me. The gate is always open. They come and sit here. And in front of the fire in winter, kids come for the apples and pears and for toffee. I make toffee with honey. Anybody comes. So have you. So here you can underline the important points. What does Mr. Lamb do? Does he have friends? All those questions have answers in this section. But I am not a friend, Derry replies. Certainly you are. So far as I am concerned, what have you done to make me think you are not? You haven't done anything to me for me to think that you are not a friend of mine. Derry replies, You don't know me. You don't know where I come from or even what my name is. Why should that signify? Do I have to write all your particulars down and put them in a filing box before you can be a friend? I suppose not. No. You could tell me your name if you choose, and not if you didn't. Derry, only it's Derek. But I hate that. Derry. If I am your friend, you don't have to be mine. I choose that. Certainly. I might never come here again. You might never see me again. And then I couldn't still be a friend. Why not? How could I? You pass people in the street and you might even speak to them, but you never see them again. It doesn't mean they are friends. Here you can see that the underlying emotion that rules this segment is Derry's requirement for a friend, and Derry at the same time wants somebody to treat him as a good friend. That way, Mr. Lamb is a good friend for Derry. Mr. Lamb, doesn't mean they are enemies either, does it? No, they are just nothing. People, that's all. People are never just nothing. Never. There are some people I hate. That would do you more harm than any bottle of acid. Acid only burns your face. Now, what Mr. Lamb means here is that acid has burnt only his face. It would have done much more than that. You are saved from that. So, that particular situation has to be taken as a positive one and live life to the fullest. But Derry replies with the word only, because for Derry, the acid burn caused to his face is everything. So that word only is a bit surprising for Derry. Mr. Lamb continues, like a bomb only blew up my leg. There is worse things that can happen. You can burn yourself away inside. Derry, after I had come home, one person said he would have been better off stopping in there in the hospital. He would be better off with others like himself. She thinks blind people only ought to be with other blind people and idiot boys with idiot boys. Mr. Lamb, and people with no legs altogether? That's right. What kind of a world would that be? At least there would be nobody to stare at you, because you weren't like them. Here again, Derry emphasizes that he is totally uncomfortable when people stares at him, thinking that he is different from them. So you think you are just the same as all the other people with burned faces, just by what you look like? Ah, everything is different. Everything is the same. but everything is different itself. Here, Mr. Lamb is trying to take Devery into a new level of experience or understanding. He clarifies your face may be same when compared to another boy who has a burnt face, but as a person you are entirely different from other people and you are unique in every aspect. This message is what Lamb is trying to tell Derry. We'll stop here. Thus we come to the end of part 2. Thank you.